you say you love.
Guys, it's Diana. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing and doing kind of a first impressions on the new Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Now, this is something that people have been super excited about, including myself. I personally adore skin tints. I think they are just kind of like my main go-to base product for myself personally. Okay, and so the color that I got was shade 10, and I already went ahead and swatched this on my arm just to compare with other skin tints that I own. Now, this is not what I would say the perfect tone for my skin. The depth of this is perfect, but the undertone is a little off. But I was kind of already expecting that with Fenty foundations. I've always found that their medium range never has like the correct undertone for me, and usually the undertone that I am looking for are found more with their tan to deeper shades. Now, this is described as a medium warm with yellow undertones. It is a warm color, but if I would say with yellow undertones, it is the more yellowy one that you would find in that medium range. But I would not consider this like perfect yellow undertone for my skin personally. And I will do some comparison swatches with some of my other skin tints here in a minute. So it says to shake this up really, really well. And it is, and you can use it with your fingertips, a brush, or a sponge. Now, I'm personally going to be kind of smearing it with my fingers and then blending it in with a beauty blender, just because that's how I usually use skin tints. Now let's go ahead and swatch this. So this is Eaze Drop 10, and on camera it looks very yellowy, but in person it does have more of a warm undertone more than actually being yellow. And I'm going to show you guys, hopefully the camera can pick it up, but the most comparable to this shade that I found in my collection was the NARS skin tint in St. Martin's. Now this one again is very similar. It's also a medium color. And you can see it is slightly more yellow than this one, but for the most part they are equally of the same warmth. Now the one that I'm trying to find it, sorry. Now the foundation range that I personally think matches my skin the best and has the best undertone for medium skin types is Dior, and this is why this one is probably my favorite skin tint. And this is in the color 3WO, so it's a warm olive. And actually, when they dry up in person, this looks a little bit more reddish, the Fenty one. This one looks a little bit more warm yellow, and then this one is that perfect yellow medium undertone. And you can see right away compared to these that this one is just much more yellow in its undertone. And I will show you guys how this looks in the light when I go and step outside to show you guys how it looks on my skin. Okay, so I went ahead and already prepped my skin. I put some sunscreen on. I'm not a biggest primer person, just because I'm just not. But let's go ahead and get a few drops, or just one drop. And this is supposed to be a light to medium kind of like buildable coverage. It's supposed to have a blurring and a smoothing effect. And it's also supposed to have like a natural finish. And now for my skin, I have combination skin, dehydrated skin, and I do have dry areas on my skin, especially like around my mouth and like around my nose is the most places where I get dry patches. So you can see it really blended into my skin beautifully. I definitely am not mad at the shade at whatsoever. You can see compared to this side, it really just helped even out my skin tone and get rid of the redness on my skin. It definitely is living up to the finish that it says it has. It has a very natural finish. I would not consider this like hydrating or like a dewy finish at all. It's a very similar finish to the Dior one that has a really close similarity to that one, because the NARS one is more dewy. And I forgot to mention, in the Fenty other foundations, like I said, I haven't found my perfect shade, but I do currently own 240, and that one's fine. But like I said, it kind of dries down to like a very more pinky, warm reddish, orangey undertone, and it's just not my favorite, so I don't really use it that often. This is how it's looking on my skin. It's not picking up any of the dry areas around my nose and mouth. I'm gonna grab a little bit more, apply it on my nose and some on my forehead. Now this also claims to be transfer and sweat resistant, so that is a really intense claim for a skin tint, because skin tints do not have the most reliable wear test in my opinion. But I mean, considering that this is very skin-like and has a natural finish, then I give it the benefit of the doubt. I live in Colorado. It's very dry here, so I can't really, you know, comment on how humidity is going to affect my foundation wear. So far I'm absolutely loving this. I do see a little bit of the dry patches right here. I have like a little bit of dry areas right on my cheek. It is picking it up, but it's not like horrible. And it's just something that happens with most of my foundations, unless it's like really, really hydrating, really dewy. So I'm gonna swatch these on my hand and then show you guys how they look outside. So this first one, closest to my thumb, is Fenty. The middle one is going to be NARS St. Martin's. And the last one is going to be Dior in 3WO. So I'm going to take you guys outside and show you guys how they look. I will take some of this to just kind of show you guys how it matches my skin also in the natural daylight. Outside under the direct sun, which I hate. And here we have the Fenty, the NARS, and then the Dior on the like closest to my nose. So here we have the fresh swatches. And now to put some of this on my face, show you guys real quick how it looks. Kind of blend it in with my fingers. I don't know if you can, I kind of reapplied where I had the dry areas, but if you can see them, they are there. Here we go. Okay guys, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup. It all applied beautifully on top of this base. And I did use the Fenty Pro Filter Concealer, and I used this in 235, which is the perfect shade. And now I'm having a really, really like positive vibe with this this skin tint, sorry. It's looking beautiful on my skin. It gives a very solid light medium coverage. As you can see, there's still my pigmentation coming through, but they're not like as prominent as they were before. It covered my redness really well with like a very little amount of product, and that natural finish is definitely there, which I really appreciate it. Considering the fact that it is a natural finish, and I have dry areas on my face, after powdering and using, you know, a powdered bronzer, a powdered blush, it's not picking up any of those dry areas around my cheeks or my nose. It's not creasing in my smile lines or around my nose either, which is actually really surprising. And I did forget to mention this has 25 shades, which is absolutely incredible. So if you're someone that has a really hard time looking for shades in a skin tint, this is definitely the skin tint for you. Hopefully you can find a, you know, good enough match. Since they are skin tints, they are a little bit more flexible to adjusting to our skin. And I think I would love to do a comparison video between the Eaze Drop skin tint and the Dior one. And if you guys are interested in seeing that, go ahead and comment down below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.